Hey guys, Deathslayer Magic here, and I have another overlooked but awesome card, and this one is extremely overlooked and extremely awesome. This is an auto-include in pretty much any blue commander deck. Now this was only literally printed one time, although it was also included in Tempest Remastered, and you're probably thinking, what is that? I actually had to Google it. It was one of those Magic Online only sets, where they introduce older cards into online because what are they going to do? Like literally re-release Tempest? And this is actually specifically from Stronghold, and it was printed as a rare, and that's it, only once. So we kind of haven't heard from this card in a while, so I could see why it would be off of some people's radars. But the sheer power of this card is amazing. I mean, when Tempest Remastered came out, this was a mythic in it. Now, you guys know I'm not personally a very big fan of free casting, but in this case, I guess I'll make an exception because Commander is just bonkers, madness, crazy gameplay, and whatever happens, the weirder the better. So if you cast like an 11 cost spell for free, that's kind of funny. Now, in highly competitive play, that's a different story, but I assure you this card is actually legal in Commander, but that's about it. Although I find it odd that it's legal in Legacy and Vintage, not restricted in any way, but then again it costs 5, so... Okay, I think I've basically described the entire card at this point, so you've got 5 seconds to submit your guess. Just kidding, you have no seconds. It's Dream Halls. It's a really simple 5-cost enchantment, and I found that 5-cost enchantments are kind of like the sweet spot, where it's not like, oh, it costs 9, but it's not like, oh, it costs 3, we better kind of make it pretty tame. I mean, come on, Sanguine Bond, bit of a legend. But this one states, rather than pay the mana cost for a spell, its controller may discard a card that shares a color with that spell. Okay, remember one of the most famous cards in all of Magic, Force of Will? You may pay 1 life and exile a blue card from your hand rather than paying Force of Will's mana cost, target, or counter target spell. This is like that on steroids. So you've got 1 blue card, no lands don't count, it has to legitimately be a blue card, although if it's like blue-green mixed, it's still blue. So you discard that, and then anything else blue in your hand, pick 1, you can cast it. So yeah, it just has to be a spell. Just any spell at all. Creature spell, artifact, instant sorcery, doesn't matter. Now the flavor text on this is just genius. It's within, without. That's deep, and it's even shorter than a haiku. That's actually impressive. Now the ruling on this card is this only replaces the mana cost. It will not pay additional costs from the card text. So, like discard a card as part of the cost. Or the example they gave is buyback, obviously. I would assume that strive... Oh boy, I really can't think of any others, but you get the idea. Anything else that adds to the mana cost, anything that says in addition, blah blah blah, do this to cast this spell, you have to then do that. Well, the classic example I always give is Deprive. It's a 2-cost universal counterspell. Hello, modern legal by the way, and it says, as an additional cost to cast Deprive, return a land you control to its owner's hand. So in the case of Dream Halls, you would still have to do that part of it because it's an additional cost. That's why it says rather than pay the mana cost, not just rather than pay the cost of a spell. So take a guess how this card might backfire just a little tiny bit and why, well, you might not auto-include it into Commander, but still I think it's just too good to not put in. Now there's no ruling on this, but it would appear that this affects all players. It just says, rather than pay the mana cost for a spell, its controller may discard a card that shares a color with that spell. It does not say the controller of this enchantment. It's just everybody. No, seriously, I looked it up online. I just Googled, does Dream Halls affect all players? Yes, it does. I could see that backfiring a little bit, but if your spells are good enough, if they're all really super high cost, well, then you damn well better be able to go get this out of your deck. But still, it's gimmicky, it's stupid, it could really, really, really blow up in your face, but that's Commander for you. I don't know about you guys, but I just like wacky effects and just stupid stuff and just random gameplay and unpredictable game swings. That's like fun to me, which is weird because I like to be in complete control and I'm cold and calculated and logical and competitive. So I don't know what it is about multiplayer Commander, but I just don't care if I win. It's just the weirder and funnier it gets, the better. I guess when nobody cares who the winner is, we just play for fun, and then it's just however entertaining the match gets, great. By the way, if you haven't played like multiplayer Commander, please do. You could actually probably put together either an allies deck, like white-black with Eiley as the leader, and that would cost practically nothing. Or, I don't know. I wouldn't say a Madness deck, and I wouldn't say a Vehicles deck. I think those are pushing it a little bit. Maybe, though. You had enough control spells, you can make anything happen, because that'll just fill in the gaps. But yeah, that would be like dirt cheap right now to build, definitely. Well, either that or a Devotion deck, but I mean, you'd run out of card options pretty damn quick. So yeah, this card is about as bonkers as it looks. It's just absolutely mental. You can just cast spells for free for the rest of the game. The best part is you can kind of chain a whole bunch of crap together if you have very, very, very high draw cards, like Dragon Lord's Prerogative and other stuff that draws like 3 at a time. You could just keep pulling them and then drawing, then pulling them, free casting, drawing, and just like draw your whole deck. And then of course there's the like Omniscience and Enter the Infinite and all that. Everybody loves that combo, and yeah, Dream Halls will get it done. So hopefully you find some fun to be had with this card, and I will see you guys next video.